Is it true that you actually attended the funeral for Elvis Presley?
Yes, I did. I did. I'd just gotten on Saturday Night Live, and Elvis died. And although I liked Elvis, I wasn't an enormous guy, but I knew there was something I was never going to see again. And I went standby. I went standby to Memphis from New York, and I was the 27th person on the standby list, and I got on the flight.
Wow.
And I got there and went right to the place, and they just finished the viewing, the public viewing. But I met a guy who was like a media photographer fellow there, and he, we ended up walking around all around the town that whole night. And I got to ride in the bus, in the press bus, right in front of the funeral cortege. And it was an amazing thing to see. Yeah. It was very hot, and there were just hundreds of thousands of people gathered underneath overpasses in the shade waiting for it. Yeah. It was very powerful. This is a long story. You got time?
Yeah.
And we already got to the funeral before the cars even pulled out of the Graceland. And the car turned out, I'll never forget it. The car turned out and it turned and it went down Elvis Presley Boulevard at about 3.5 miles an hour. When you saw it at that speed, it was like, oh, talk about the last ride, Yeah. This is it. And we're in the cemetery and by a TV truck, and they had monitors and cameras and monitors watching it. And there was a riot at the gates of the cemetery.
Oh, because
people trying to get in, they weren't letting people in. And I thought, this is something I got to see. I started running to see it, And by the time I got there, all of a sudden, just as I came up on a hill, and all of a sudden this motorcade came out, and it was leading the hearse. And these cops looked at me like, move, and you're dead. Because there was just a nut running through the cemetery.
Right.
And I looked, and I was standing right at his mother's grave. It was really, really eerie thing to happen. But it was an amazing experience to see all the emotion, all the people. I mean, the one funny thing was we went back sort of to across the street from Graceland, which back then was like a red, white, and blue hamburger place. Now it's just Elvis Presley memorabilia. But back then, and I remember this rumbling like Buick, like about an 11-year-old Buick came in, looked with Michigan plates, and these two guys who looked like they'd been driving all night from Michigan, and they rolled down the window and said, "Is there a reception?" It was just like,
of course.
Why not? Why not?
Of course. And you guys are, of course, invited.
Yeah.
That's a tremendous memory.
It really was.
See, now that's what I like about you. You had the wisdom, the vision, the foresight, the cultural knowledge to know that it was important to be there for that event. And by God, you went and showed up. A lot of people will say they were there. You, my friend, are the real deal.